The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
If you're building or buying or selling a home, the Real Estate Crew's got news for you at the Real Estate House Party.
With attorney Rick Carter,
Real Estate House Party.
paralegal Kathy Holtshouser,
Real Estate House Party. Come in, have fun.
and comedian Tony V. Now, here's real estate attorney Rick Carter.
Welcome and thanks for joining us here on the Real Estate House Party. Looks like you were doing a bass guitar.
I was playing bass.
All right, I thought so. How did I know that?
Just to clarify.
Yeah, I'm not a lead guitar.
Slapping
I'm a bass.
the bass.
I'm a bass guitar.
Snapping the bass.
You can always tell
I can tell.
the way the guitar is held.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
So you're doing a little bass air guitar, and I knew right away.
No.
It's bass.
Air bass.
Yeah.
It's not
This
bass
is-
air guitar. It's
a
air
bass, like
Air
the...
bass.
air bass.
No, I know. What did I say something wrong?
You said bass guitar.
Jesus.
You're doing
Okay. All right. We're 1 minute in. We're being critical here. We got John Ternullo here.
Hey, John.
He's going to walk right out if there's a lot of anger in this show. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, we love John
We
Ternullo.
love John
He's
Ternullo.
always up to something new
He's
and
always
exciting.
smiling.
Oh, he is,
Yes.
he is.
He's look at him. He's a good-looking man. He's got the world by the nuts.
He does. And I have to give a shout out to his wife, Michelle.
Who is also a good-looking person.
Very nice.
But she's also a lot of fun. Like,
Yes.
we had
Very
lunch
nice.
with them last week. It was supposed to be all business, and when I tell you, there was no business.
Kind
Kind of like the show sometimes.
Yeah.
Just carried it forward a little bit.
Well, she also brought her cousin, Jen DeBari, which is also her partner in crime, right?
And which is also she's also in the business.
She's give a shout out to her. She's at East Cambridge Savings Bank.
and we had some.
Wait a second. That's my bank.
Is it?
My mother worked at these Cambridge Savings Bank.
Nice.
She was an officer there,
35
wasn't
years.
she?
Yeah, she was a controller for a while. She was a assistant vice president. She
It
started
is
on-
East Cambridge Savings Bank, right?
Is that right?
so.
Yes.
What's her name?
Jen DeBari.
Jen DeBari.
I will look her up when I go in there to plead my case every week.
But anyway, she has great rates.
Oh,
And
on why you shouldn't pay your mortgage payment this month?
on time.
Right.
Yeah. Do you know I have never balanced a checkbook in my life?
neither have I.
Yeah.
Neither
and people
No, I do your books.
Oh, that I know.
and people
Oh, you don't do it
always,
at work either?
People will always say to me, they go, well, how do you know when you run out of money? I go, oh, they'll tell you. Someone's going to mention it to you. You
find
ran
out
out of
quick.
money. Yeah, you ran out of money again, Tony. I know it happened last month, too.
Thank you. Thank you
I know,
for
it's
the
a lot
heads up.
easier
For the
now.
heads
Now
up.
that everything's online, you can just go to your ATM
But not
machine.
Tony.
Not
Tony.
No, you
No,
know
no.
how I am
Yeah.
with the computer.
Yeah.
I'm not good. I'm 4 keystrokes away from inadvertently starting a war.
Yes, you are.
You know, like I know I'll be on the computer one night. Homeland Security will ring me up. They'll go, Tony, did you hit /escape 9 F3 all at the same time? And I'll go, I have no idea what you just said. They go, well, we just scrambled jets and we attacked Belize. Don't we like those people? Yes, and therein lies the problem.
Your regular Jack Bauer in reverse, right?
Right. Don't touch anything.
So-
I can't. Do you know how to DocuSign things online?
John does
You
it all the
just-
time.
I do, yes.
You click.
John, tell us, what is DocuSign? That is a great feature.
It's just an electronic signature.
Yeah.
And you simply just click a button and you have a signature.
Not on my computer. Then
you need
again, my
any-
computer is steam driven in wood, so that could have something to do with it.
Tony's on fire today. We were going to talk about mortgage.
Microsoft
Mortgages?
1987,
Yeah.
right?
We were going
Yeah.
to talk about rates. And
No, we are.
and-
Yeah,
no,
we
no,
are.
hold on, though.
We are.
I would rather listen to Tony's
course.
computer problem.
Yeah.
You know what? I have a feeling Tony is going to interject every once in a while.
Every now and
anyway.
again.
But I do want to digress.
Yeah.
Have I already digressed?
The whole show's been a digression.
A big
Digress from that
digression.
digress.
From the
If you
beginning.
digress, you're going to start talking information then.
Right.
Right?
No, I'm going to digress to a different topic.
Oh, go
Okay.
ahead.
Tony
Go ahead.
Tony V had on the spiffiest MC suit I have ever seen.
Yeah, I clean up nice.
What was it? Tell us.
It
I-
was crazy.
Yeah,
It was like some
I
purple.
host a show. I've done it for years for the MRA, the Mass Restaurant Association.
Okay.
It's called the Stars of the Industry, and they give awards to, unsung heroes.
Best-
Bus boys, dishwashers. Our own Jay from
Jay
Prince
should definitely get
Pizzeria.
it.
He was nominated for
Was he?
Bartender of the Year.
Good.
Yes.
He didn't win it, though,
He
huh?
did not win.
Wow.
Who won?
I don't know, some lady that was not Jay.
Where did she work?
She worked at a place called the Smoke Shop, I believe.
Where is that?
I don't know.
Don't promote that one. We should say where
know.
Jay's
No,
working.
yeah, at Prince Pizzeria.
Yeah, Jay- and Jay is by
Route
far.
1 southbound, and Jay's great.
And not to be confused with.
With northbound.
Right.
Not a happy place.
Jay would
northbound.
not be seen on north
No,
side.
so I've been hosting this award show. I go do a few minutes up front, and then, I introduce the people who then they do the categories and stuff. So it's like a big deal for folks,
Right.
and so I dressed up.
How did
But I
Jay- how
literally
did-
haven't seen him dressed up like this in all the years I've
Really?
known you.
I think last night was the first time I had pants on.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
like actual
Were you
pants.
okay?
Yeah.
Were you okay?
It was,
Okay.
I get a little woozy. And I have to say, I did another event.
Why, were they tight or you just
No,
so
no.
excited? Yeah.
They
No.
were so flashy.
Were they good, huh?
Yeah. You can see it on my Facebook page, Tony V
Right.
Comic.
So
It's-
I was
it's
just going
all
to say
there.
that.
Yeah.
How do they find you all the time?
Tony V Comic on any
And-
platform. Yeah.
And where are you going to be? We should announce at certain times.
Oh,
when you're-
don't ask me where I'm going to be. I don't
He doesn't know. He doesn't know, Rick. He barely knew where he was going last weekend.
Yeah, but this
Tony
event
always
is
says
very
I'm
fun.
wide open, and then he's overbooked.
I double booked myself last
I
Saturday.
know you
night.
did.
I was laughing.
I heard all about it.
Yep.
But you went to Prince Pizza.
But I
did the
went
right
to
thing.
Giggles. I did.
Giggles.
That's
sorry,
where
yeah,
I
yeah.
said yes first, and the other people know I'm a fucking nitwit, so they let me out of it.
Who'd they get to replace you?
No one can replace me.
That's
but
what I mean.
somebody
That was
was
my point.
adequate. But this event, the stars of the industry, for the mass restaurant, it's a great event. 400 and something people.
Really?
Biggest
Where'd
crowd
you
we've
have
ever
it
had. At Lombardo's.
Oh.
Down in Braintree.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's their last go around. They're closing that facility. And
Wow, that's so
Yeah, but
sad.
the people are so nice, and these people are so happy. There was like a 73-year-old dishwasher who won
Wow.
Dishwasher of the Year, and
Wow.
she was in tears, and
Wow.
rightly so. You get recognized, and it's a good group.
73-year-old dishwasher
Yeah.
hanging in there. Who's that soap opera girl who never seems to win?
Susan Lucci.
Susan Lucci.
Yeah.
So he's the Susan Lucci of the
Yeah,
dishwasher
it was a
world.
shame, but yes.
Yeah.
But it was great.
How do they pick out the winners?
I don't know what. I mean,
They must vote.
Yeah, there's got to be a vote. You get nominated by your restaurant or bar, whatever it is, and then there's got some process. that
She
they
probably
go
makes
through.
the dishes very clean,
and all
whereas her runners-up
Yeah.
just kind of clean,
No,
right?
I mean, everyone will do. Yeah, maybe. I said I've eaten off her dishes, and they're fine.
And you're still living,
I'm fine.
so
yeah.
good.
And they invite all the finalists. So there's 4 finalists
Was
in every
Jay there?
category. Yeah, Jay
He was there.
Yeah, and they always do. This is my favorite thing, where they go, just for being here, you're all winners. And I go, yeah, you're all winners.
Bye.
Everyone gets a sash, but only one of you is getting the money. let's just be honest about this.
Yeah.
But it's a great night, and I look forward to doing it.
Well, I was impressed by your outfit.
Thank you very much.
Go to
Somewhere-
Tony V
yeah.
Comic on Facebook, and you guys get to see the outfit.
And ahead of that, if you go look at my jacket, my outfit, my jacket especially, just keep this thought in your head. Somewhere there's a window weeping because it had no drapes.
Right.
So that's what you want people to think of when they see your outfit.
As soon as you
see
see
it,
it,
Somewhere
you'll
there's
know.
a window
Weeping.
because there are no drapes.
They have no drapes.
They have no drapes.
Because
Okay.
they stole them
This
to
is-
make Tony's
This is
outfit.
He
thank
understood.
you. I'm fat. I'm not deaf.
Dumb.
I'm dumb. This is the point of the show where John Ternullo says,
Why do I say yes?
Why am I here?
I gave
Why?
up an afternoon where I could
Why
be making
do
money
I say
to
yes?
hear these guys.
Come on, this is
bicker.
going to catapult John right to another level.
So,
What are you up to, John, by the way?
Do you see how serious? And he's like laughing as he's serious. Okay. What are you
well,
up
we
to,
did want to
John?
bring John on to say what's new
What's
out
going
there
on,
because
yeah.
John's the pulse of the real estate community.
Sure.
And
We're out there every day.
they just
Selling
raised, as
houses.
we know, they raised the the prime, hopefully
Again?
for the last time. Well, no. No, for the last time.
For the last time.
Since last
A
week.
week or two ago.
Yeah.
So
Right.
hopefully that takes care of inflation. What do you think?
Oh, it's all done.
It's all done.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, it
Yeah,
should be deflated by next Wednesday.
I'm hoping.
Let's hope so.
So that's what they're hoping on the inflation. Have we got it all figured out about inflation and all that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wow. All right.
That was quick.
I still don't understand how any of it works, but
I don't either.
But I
And
listen
I've been
and
trying.
yes, and I go, okay. I don't know if things cost too much and you make stuff cost
Can I-
even more.
can I give
how
my-
that makes it
Exactly.
stuff
And we've been
cost
through-
less?
All right. So I think, can I give a rudimentary attempt at this? I think what they're built on the premise they don't want people keep spending, I would imagine.
Okay. They don't want us to buy oil and food and gasoline.
They
To slow down the
do,
economy.
But I guess with inflation, what they're saying is if it's too available, there's going to be a flurry of activity purchasing, like probably not oil, but so they're thinking the prime is raised, not to get too much, and then we'll get
Yeah.
back into
Yeah, go ahead.
So if the prime is raised, it makes it harder for banks to lend to others and other banks. So
Right.
So everything goes up. So if there's less money out there to purchase, it's going to be less spending.
And then we're all starved to
Because-
death.
But
and
how does
freeze.
that bring prices down?
Because what they're saying is supply and demand. So
Will
people,
reduce demand.
Yeah, right. So they're bringing it down because people can't buy as much. There's less demand. So
Who came up with this plan?
I don't
This is
know.
the thing. Has it ever worked?
That's
Well,
It
the
seems
problem
like
is
I've
if
been
that was
hearing
the
this-
only part of the formula, maybe not. But I think it's driving us a little bit into a recession because there's other factors out
think?
there. I'm just saying.
What are the other factors? This
Well,
is
the world
point.
economy,
Yeah.
war going on, COVID. I think that's not factored in with this theory on inflation.
the
But what they don't remember is the real estate market saved us during
Right.
COVID. Does
That's
anybody
very true.
agree?
Yeah.
Everybody here
Yes,
agree with that?
100%.
Yeah. Now there's no more refinances.
No.
But supposedly that's the theory that if they raise what monies can be lent to other banks, banks are going to raise all their, like credit card interest rates.
Yep.
So you're not going to be able to buy as much. And if you're not buying as much, there's more supply out there, and it brings it down. But that's it.
So that's
But then you have to buy it to make it go.
I know.
Right.
Well, that's why I said
I
the
know,
original
it's
premise is
aggravating
they don't
to-
want you buying. They're trying
no,
to
but
curb.
what's happening is I read an article is now the credit card usage has gone up.
Sure,
yeah.
everybody
Now
still wants
people-
their stuff.
Well, people want to have
my
a
friend
way
George
of
Ravanas from Frank's Steakhouse.
Yeah.
That's his theory. He's seen a ton of more credit card usage.
that
Right.
people
And
aren't
then
using
people
cash
go back.
anymore. So
They actually should call him as the number one economist.
should have him on.
We should have Frank
We
George
should.
on from
And have
Frank's.
bring some food.
Right.
Just
yeah.
as a side
Yeah.
note.
All right. So you had a great statement yesterday. Someone at your office said this. I like this one. So sellers are thinking it's last year, and buyers are thinking it's a year from now.
Correct, for sure.
Get that one?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So if you're looking at the numbers, we're in a seller's market. The problem is we're in a normal
Right.
seller's market. And everyone, the neighbor, all they remember is the house 2 doors down, a
Sold
line
for
around
X,
the corner.
yeah.
And they sold for $100,000 over asking.
Yeah.
They got to live in the house for free for 6
Right,
months.
right.
Buyers are watching the news and they're thinking, everything is 50% off.
Right,
Right.
right.
So it's like this meet in the middle
Fire
where,
sale, yeah.
it's the market's actually a good market, but it's just what people perceive it to be.
Yeah.
And then everything's going on with the economy, and a lot
Right.
of people just don't know there's uncertainty out there.
Right.
Right.
And you had another good point there where last year when there was 25 offers on one house and one gets it, where did those other 24 people go? They're still trying to buy something,
Well, that's
right?
the thing, and I think that there's a lot of people right now. Some people are hoping that the real estate market it's going to,
Crash.
crash or do something like that. But all those people that need a house, we're not talking about.
Right.
We're talking
Not a
about
want,
shelter.
right.
The other option is they can go out and rent.
Right, for
rents are
more
through the
than
roof.
a mortgage in some
Yeah.
cases.
So all those people that needed a house, a lot of them are just on the
People
side.
gotta remember,
sideline.
buying a house is not, it's an investment, but it's not like they need to move no matter what interest rate is.
Well, that's the thing I think a lot of people forget about, just kind of like what you said. Like, it's not just
Right.
an investment in our economy.
Right,
It's
right,
like,
right.
oh, I need a roof over my head.
Right.
Like, I just got married, or
I need to move. I
Yeah.
just had my 4th kid. Whatever, downsizing, or whatever.
people get married, they have kids, and
Yep.
and there's a lot of people out there right now that are just millennials out there. That's a large
Group
Right,
of humans.
right,
yeah.
right.
a large people that a large group of people that are ready to form a household and ready to
Right, right,
buy a
right.
home.
Right.
So
But
the
they
good news-
can't
Right.
because there's nothing to buy.
Well, that's the problem that
Right.
we're having. Yeah.
This is why we need yurts, Kath.
I know.
Yurt
I
living is the way to go.
I'd rather the hut
The hut?
in Aruba.
Oh, yeah.
We don't
palapa.
need a palapa.
Yeah, you don't need windows. You
sides.
don't need
Yeah,
sides. All
yeah.
you need is a cigar and the clear ocean view.
Yep,
That's all you
yep.
need.
Does sound pretty good.
Hey,
Oh, sweet living.
so I'm wondering about, the people's potential buying power, I say, has been cut into.
Well, that's just it. And, rates are obviously higher than what they were.
They're double, over
know,
double what they
Although
were.
the other good news is they did go down in the last week or so. They were in the 7s.
Yep.
Now I think down to 6.5. Then your coach. Tell
Yeah,
you-
I mean, definitely talk to your lender, but I mean, we're seeing them in the 6s now. And if you're doing a jumbo,
Right. Or an
It's
adjustable.
it's even less than that.
You know, it's weird. You really need to talk to your banker because, it's kind of, an oxymoron. But the more you borrow as a jumbo loan, you might get a better rate. A lot of time, first-time buyers, we're always told to do 20% down. They might be able to qualify better if they only put 15% down.
Or 3% down
or
on
3% on an
FHA,
loan.
right?
Yeah, right. So
Well, I mean, also, isn't it that a little bit of a shell game, too? Because how many people, honestly, live the life of their mortgage? On that
no,
house.
that's a good point. Not.
Yeah.
What are they saying? Like 7 years
On
is
average,
the-
potentially 7,
that you're going to have
7,
that
8
loan.
years.
7 or 8,
Yeah.
right. You're going to want something else or buy it, and then
Yeah.
it's a crap.
So
I mean, that's the
maybe
thing.
what they should be doing is getting an adjustable rate. then.
Adjustable rate, right.
For time, I mean, there's some great rates out there for
For
10
adjustable.
years.
Yeah, the 10 year.
Which is somewhat,
Because the longest time, because
conservative.
the way the 10-year was yield was, the adjustables was very similar to a fixed rate for
Right.
the longest time. Now there's a big disparity between the two. You're right. You can get an adjustable in 5s, or the fixed rate was in the 7s. So
I feel like I've been paying off my 30-year loan for 40 years.
You probably
I
have.
probably does that compute?
Yeah,
Stan?
Yeah, it does compute.
Does it? Does that
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
for some
Yeah.
people?
Yeah.
All right, just checking.
yeah,
Yeah, if you keep refinancing.
Yeah, I guess that's
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Money's gonna come from
I
somewhere.
don't know
suppose.
why my principal hasn't gone down.
Right. I've owed this money for 40 years.
Yeah, and then you could die,
Yeah.
and you could live the life.
What did you
Fine.
decide last week that just print more money?
Print more money.
Well, that's what I want to do, and
Yeah.
get rid of this inflation.
Well, because
and-
we also, you talk about the world economy, and I'm going to be
Yeah, yeah.
kind of serious for a while.
Yeah.
Do you actually believe that Russia and China are playing by the same rules as us?
No, I know.
that's
know,
a tough question.
It is. Probably
there are
our
people-
friends.
Not really. I can say
probably
no.
our friends. Probably our friends in Belize are. But
But I
ones
think
you
within,
bond earlier?
yeah, I wish them no.
Well, they're not-
I
they're not
wish
happy
them
now.
No harm. But you know what I mean? There seems to be something, a system that is made up that we trust is working. But I'm saying I don't trust it that much.
right. I agree.
I
I feel like Chrissy shut my mic off.
No.
No, we can hear
Look
you.
at her smiling.
Yeah.
It's because I said you're good.
Oh, that's why she wanted you to turn that up. What did you say on that one again? So your coach is what is your coach saying?
Well, the thing is, a lot of people don't know, they don't realize, the rates
Are down.
That they're down. All they're hearing is
Right.
7%, and they think it's terrible out
Mass
there.
hysteria.
There are some, there are better rates out there. And if you know your options, the problem is there's a lot of people that are looking to buy a larger home because they have more kids now. And they're
Yep.
just thinking that they're stuck. They don't want to give up maybe that 3% rate.
Yep.
And they're stuck in their home
Yep.
when that's part of the problem because there's not enough inventory out there. So if those people could potentially, realize that, yeah, the rates may not be as bad as you think, and maybe you don't have to come in $150,000 over asking to
Yeah.
get a house,
Right.
and possibly you could potentially another big problem that people had is, they wanted to buy another house, but they couldn't because they had nowhere to go, and they couldn't buy a house because they had a house to sell, and no seller would accept.
And that's starting to turn around too, isn't it?
And that's starting to turn around. So like right now we're seeing that homes that are in that entry level price range, they have a strong demand from all those millennials out there. But if you're in the upper range and if you're looking for $1 million house or something like that, that's slowing down a little bit. So you see some of those sellers, not all, and I say that some of the sellers, some may be willing to accept a contingency right now.
Which I've seen a bunch lately.
And it was unheard of a year ago.
So that's the thing. So sellers right now can still benefit from high prices, but they are certainly negotiating a lot more now than what they were.
Their negotiating powers are stronger. No, the buyers negotiating.
Oh, the buyers are definitely stronger.
I mean, the prices are still up there, but
they can still put in their mortgage financing clause.
Oh,
They
definitely.
could still put in, or now put in their
Home inspection.
home inspectors are going back to work now.
They're going back to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
For a long time.
And the other big one now, well, not the other one, but it's subject to them selling their house.
Well, that's
Right.
just it. So all those,
Yeah.
so for those people that, talking about just tied to the economy, I mean, there's people out there that want a larger home for their family.
Yeah.
And they have a limited time window before like their kids move out. So
Right.
it's like
right.
they're either going to do it or they're not.
Right.
So sometimes it's worth it to.
But it wouldn't be so bad to get a balance, right, where the buyers have some negotiating power and the sellers have some, back to a little bit of more normalcy.
Well, like I said, I mean, in my opinion, I think it's still a seller's market. But when the problem is everyone only remembers what they saw
A year
Their
ago.
neighbor
a year
doing,
ago.
right.
So a seller's market back in the day wasn't,
Like
people
that.
throwing $200,000 over asking
No.
in our market and saying, oh yeah, they could live there,
Right.
for free
Right.
through a use and occupancy.
And whereas the seller would only accept a buyer with cash,
Yeah,
or
I
like
mean-
they're not. So the cash buyer is the perfect buyer, but it's going back to a more normalized
Correct.
real estate situation.
Right. So you seeing offers over asking price?
Well,
I guess imagine the determining factor is how good the property is, what type of
so-
shape it is, and
So we've seen, if it's like now more than ever, like sellers back then, I mean, maybe they didn't want to do the work or whatever.
Right,
They're
right.
like, anyone
No, I
can buy my
agree.
house.
Right.
But these days, like, it's super critical. Like, buyers don't want homes that need work.
Right.
And so if the seller does make their home appear that it doesn't need work and it's priced right, yeah, we're still seeing multiple offers. We're still seeing contingencies waived. It's still great for the sellers, but there's a lot of houses out there that are sitting on the market for 30, again, 30 days isn't that bad.
But it is a stigma to a buyer. Why
Well-
is this house on the market for 30 days?
That's, and that's
30 days is like 3 years.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. Yeah. Buyers, I mean, they need to realize if a house is on the market for 2 weeks, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's haunted or something wrong with it.
right.
Right. But
It's
I think
actually an
that's I
opportunity.
think it's a myth or
It certainly
a
is.
bad myth.
Yeah.
What are you seeing? How long are they on the market? What's the average? I know they do stats on that. but-
So
Different towns,
Yeah,
right?
different towns. I mean, we're seeing, on some towns it's 20 days, other 30 days, so on average, so we're still seeing homes that are going off the market in 7 days and others are taking, 45 days, 60 days, but on average, 20, 30, depending on the market.
That's
depending
about
on the-
average.
Yeah, in our market, that's somewhat average.
So when you were talking, John, my brain was
Yeah, my eyes glazed over about 12 minutes ago.
I know the
No, no.
time we lost you. Yeah.
no, but what we used to talk about several times on this podcast is curb appeal and what you can do to get your house looking the best.
Yes.
But a year ago, we would not be talking about that.
Well,
and now we're going
Yeah,
to
it
kind of
seems
go
like the
back
trend.
to that.
The
Yes,
trend
it-
used to be that you're right. You tell a seller you got to do this,
You're
and
going to
this
paint your
to the
front door,
property.
trim your bushes.
You actually
and-
Yes
have to
and
have a
no.
pre-home inspection, and then it changed where don't do any pre-home inspection. Your buyer's just going to buy it no matter what.
right.
We always push.
Well-
We always push to get the work done because when we've had sellers really get way over than what anyone would imagine because
Right.
they did that work.
Right.
But there were a lot of agents out there that said, "Oh, you don't have to do it," and they didn't have to do it, and maybe they got $20,000 over asking instead of $150,000.
Right.
Right.
But today, that could be the difference between selling
or sitting on the market.
sitting on the market,
Yeah.
and then just reducing in
Now,
price.
do you ever advise them to do major changes, like do a kitchen over? You wouldn't advise them of that. That's
so
yeah.
in my mind, major no, but we have done kitchens over, yes.
You have.
But how we do kitchens over versus how, someone else may do a
Gutting a
kitchen over. Like,
kitchen,
we're not
right.
going to gut a kitchen and,
Yeah.
and completely
You're just
do
gonna
it
make it
over.
look nice.
We just have to make it look nice.
Yeah.
So maybe the buyer says to themselves, hey, the kitchen's nice, and maybe in 10 years I'll renovate it.
Right.
Right.
Because they're not going to pay for top-of-the-line finishes. You won't get your money back on that stuff.
Right.
Because that was always theory that the buyer's just going to want to pick out
And
what they
plus,
want
if the
anyway.
seller's
But
going
they
to
really don't want to do
if the
that.
seller
I
guts
know.
his kitchen and it's gorgeous, they might decide not to put it on the market, right? Like,
Say that again?
if the seller guts his kitchen,
Yeah.
and
I have second thoughts on that.
yeah, like
I
it
guess
has
that has happened in the past.
yeah.
So
yeah.
if you do tell them to put, so everything's pretty much, not generic, but kind of neutral, or because you don't want anything really too specific that you like. 'Cause
Yes, it should
you're
be.
not-
It
yeah.
should definitely be neutral.
Yeah.
And I guess neutral is, what's
How you define that.
Yeah, how do you
Yeah,
define
yeah.
neutral? But yes, it certainly should be neutral. And one myth that sellers have is that they do think that buyers want to change things. And today's buyers, they don't even want to pick up a paintbrush.
Yeah.
They really just
Well,
want to.
right, because some buyers could look at like all the kids' bedrooms, like pink and yellow and blue, and see past it. But now you're saying that a lot of the buyers just want it in move in.
Well, let's just put it this way: those that are willing to pay top dollar don't want to do anything.
Right.
And they're
And
going to
any-
accept whatever it is there.
Yeah, any buyer that's willing to do some work, they're probably not willing to pay top dollar.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's another.
That's a good tip.
Good tip.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
good tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is good. So
So lazy buyers. No.
no, but or lazy sellers.
Sellers.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
more on the seller side.
Yeah. Because so you would, because I know you do a lot of renovations for some of your
Correct. Yeah, we do
for your
renovations
listings
for people.
What have you done lately? What I mean?
So we have done. So a lot of it when we do it, it's a lot of it's painting,
Yeah.
cleaning. Sometimes it's landscaping. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's painting cabinets. Maybe
Yeah.
changing out appliances. It's all cosmetic stuff.
Right.
Right.
And short money, really.
It really is.
You're going to find this hard to believe. I just had a great idea.
You always have a great
yeah,
idea.
a great
when
idea.
you
One.
Yeah, just one.
One a week.
And I
And
think
then-
this
then
will
we're gonna
solve a
shut you
lot
off
of
after
problems.
this.
Then I'm leaving.
Yeah. We're all leaving.
Yeah. When you have an open house, you hire a hypnotist to hypnitize the people coming in. Everything you, see,
love this house.
everything you see is beautiful. This house you want to own. The kitchen is gorgeous.
The neighbor next door is a hunk, and he comes over once a week.
He makes
Once
the
a
lady
night.
next
Once a
door-
night, right.
The lady next door makes pies every day. You will buy this house.
Your kids are so obedient to you.
I'm telling you.
That's not a bad idea.
That's
We've
not
actually
bad.
we had a seller that used to be.
I'm sure he sold his house quite quick.
You were like this house. That's a great idea, Tom.
is.
I know. I always have a good idea.
Forget about the chocolate chip cookies. Bring in a
Yeah,
hypnotist.
bring in a
Yeah.
hypnotist.
And
I know
Don't worry about
hypnotists.
the mold in the bathtub.
Yeah,
Right.
It's not
there's
really.
Well, I like your
there.
idea about this. Not
Fuzzy
only
bathtubs are in.
That's the new trend.
That's good.
It feels so good.
Uh-oh. Susie's telling us it's time to
I
go.
know, it's time to go. Maybe we'll leave on one of Tony V's great ideas. So where are you going to be this weekend?
I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
no,
he already
I
told
got-
you we didn't know.
Where are you going to be
I
this
think
weekend?
I don't know.
All right,
I
thank
don't
you.
know. I think I'm at Giggles Thursday night for a fundraiser.
Okay.
And then Friday night, I'm somewhere in New Hampshire. And then Saturday night, I'm doing a
Somewhere.
fundraiser
Somewhere.
in Newton.
Okay.
You're a busy man.
yeah.
All right. So if you need to find Tony,
It's a
just
casino night. So
just
I'll probably hang around.
Google New Hampshire.
Yeah,
Google
Tony V, New Hampshire.
Right.
Yeah.
John Ternullo, thanks for joining us. You're
Thanks
always
for
I
having
know.
me.
This might be his last time.
John, how did they get
That's
hold
what
of
he
you?
said last time.
We let him talk a lot.
Yeah.
And by we, I meant me.
How did they get a hold of you at the Leading Edge? The Ternullo team.
TernulloRealestate.com.
Nice.
You got to see your website. It's very nice.
Shop. I'll
Yeah.
look at it too.
So say the website again. You got to go on there.
TernulloRealestate.com.
Link
Perfect.
is in the description below.
Perfect.
I know that.
And if you want to
I'm letting
find,
your audience.
All right, if you want to find Kathy Holtshouser,
don't call.
Link
Good luck.
is not in.
what
description.
number should they not call if they don't want to get a hold of you?
781-944-9222.
Thanks for joining us on the Real Estate House Party.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.